Hi, Iyaya here. Let's read ABCs of Biology by Chris Ferrie and Kara Florence. Let me see. Open Sesame. There we go. A is for anatomy. Anatomy is the study of the parts of a living thing. Doctors and scientists study human anatomy, such as bones, organs, and the brain, so they will know how to fix them. Zoologists study animal anatomy to better understand all the amazing types of life we have on this planet. B is for bacteria. Bacteria are very small, single-cell living things. Scientists estimate there are more bacteria on Earth than stars in the universe. Though some bacteria can make us sick, lots have important roles on Earth and in our bodies. C is for cell. Cells are the building blocks of living things. An organism can have anywhere from one cell to trillions of cells. Cells house the instructions, DNA, and worker molecules, proteins, that allow life to exist. D is for Drosophila. Oh my gosh, this word, I gotta break it down. Melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster. Say that with me 3 times. Let's try it again. Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila, maybe it's phila, like philosophy, I think. Okay, Drosophila melanogaster. Okay, did you try that with me? Let's try it together. Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster. Yeah, you can do it. You just have to break those big words down, you know? Chop them up into small bits. No word is bigger than you. Okay, so D is for Drosophila melanogaster. This is the scientific name of the fruit fly. Drosophila melanogaster is a model organism, which means scientists use it to understand how life works. Research on fruit flies has helped scientists learn about all kinds of things, like our sleep cycles, our sense of smell, and how we get traits from our parents. Wow! E is for ecosystem or ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living things. Examples of ecosystems include the microscopic life in our gut, organisms living around coral reefs, and the relationship of all life on Earth. Members of an ecosystem often rely on other members to thrive. I rely on you to thrive. I hope I'm helping you to thrive. F is for fossil. Fossils are preserved prints or remains of very old organisms. Fossils can be anything from dinosaur bones, footprints, fish, plants, or even ancient bacteria. Fossils form when the living material in an organism is replaced by or imprinted on minerals. This preserves the shape and allows scientists to study the organism many years later. G is for glucose. Glucose is a simple sugar and is an important source of energy for many life forms. The chemical glucose is made in plants during photosynthesis. That's another good word. Can you read that one with me? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. You got it. When animals eat glucose, their cells break it down for energy. Much of the carbon dioxide we exhale is from the carbon in dietary glucose. H is for hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein in blood that carries oxygen throughout the body. Hemoglobin contains iron atoms that bind oxygen. This causes many animals' blood to be bright red. Some animals, like octopuses, crabs, and spiders, have a different protein to transport oxygen that uses copper. That makes their blood blue. I is for immune system. Immune systems defend organisms against germs. Your immune system is constantly patrolling your body for invaders. When it finds one, it gets rid of the germ. It is also able to remember the germ to protect against future infections. Your body is really smart. J is for jejunum. Jejunum. That's a fun word. Jejunum. The jejunum is the middle part of your small intestine. It is part of your digestive system. The jejunum is 8 feet, 2.5 meters long, and is lined with little finger-like projections called villi that help absorb nutrients from the foods you eat. Wow! K is for keratin. Keratin is used to create protective structures in some animals. Animals use keratin to make skin, hair, scales, hooves, horns, and more. Different molecular bonds within keratin can create materials that are tough, like scales, or soft, like feathers, or hard, like turtle shells. L is for larva. Larva is an early stage of many organisms' life cycles. Larvae turn into adults during metamorphosis. It's another good word. Metamorphosis. metamorphosis, after which the adult creature will look almost completely different from the larva. Examples of larvae include tadpoles, which will turn into frogs, and caterpillars, which will turn into butterflies. M is for microscope. A microscope allows your eyes to see very small things. There are many types of microscopes. Some use light and lenses to magnify an object. Others use electrons and electromagnets to see even smaller things. Electromagnets. That's a good word. N is for neuron. A neuron is a cell that can send signals through your body. Neurons, or nerve cells, can send electrical signals to each other to communicate messages. This is how your brain sends and receives messages about moving, thinking, seeing, and more. O is for ossification. Ossification. Ossification is the process of making new bone with calcium. Throughout your life, ossification occurs to maintain calcium levels in your body. However, most ossification occurs throughout your childhood while your skeleton forms. When you break or fracture a bone, ossification will help heal it. P is for photosynthesis. 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 Photosynthesis is how plants take energy from sunlight and store it as a chemical energy. Almost all life on Earth depends on photosynthesis to live. It allows the plants we eat to grow and creates the oxygen we breathe. A few organisms besides plants can perform photosynthesis, such as algae and cyanobacteria. I didn't know that word. Ooh, we just sounded it out together. Cyanobacteria. I'm gonna look that word up. What is cyanobacteria anyway? I don't know. I'm gonna find out. Q is for queen. A queen lays all the eggs in some insect colonies. Ants, wasps, and bees have queens. Special female honeybee larvae who are fed royal jelly become queens. The other bees in the hive who are fed pollen and honey become drones or workers. R is for retina. The retina is in the back of your eye and helps create an image for your brain to see. The retina is made of millions of cells that absorb different colors of light. These cells send a message to the brain through neurons. The brain then creates the image you see. Wow. S is for stem cells. A stem cell can turn into other types of cells when an organism is growing or regenerating. The first cells of a growing human are embryonic stem cells that will divide and change into all the different cells in the body. In select body parts, such as bone marrow and the brain, adult stem cells are present that can transform into and replace old cells in the tissue in which they are found. T is for temporal lobe. Temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is the part of your brain that helps control your hearing. The temporal lobe allows us to understand what we hear and see, like learning language and remembering faces. It also plays a role in memory, personality, and creativity. It helps make you you. U is for unicellular. Unicellular. A unicellular organism is made of only one cell. Scientists think unicellular organisms were the first type of life on Earth. Unicellular organisms are usually very small, but some are big enough to cover the palm of your hand. V is for virus. A virus is a tiny particle that can only replicate with the help of a living thing. Viruses can infect all living things, including humans and bacteria. Some viruses can cause, Some viruses cause disease, but scientists are finding some infections might actually be helpful. W is for wood. Wood makes up a tree's trunk and branches. It provides stability for the tree and also helps deliver nutrients between the roots and the leaves. Some trees grow wood differently at different times of year. This makes tree rings, which can be used to guess how old the tree is. X is for xanthophilus. Xanthophilus. Let's sound that word out together. Xanthophilus. Xanthophilus. Xanthophilus are a group of molecules that give some plants and fruits yellow color. Xanthophilus are in plants like marigold, flowers, and corn. They are also found in some leaves and the retinas in the back of our eyes to help protect things from too much light energy. Y is for yolk. Yolk is food for animals that grows in eggs. The yolk does not actually turn into the animal. The animal will grow from a small white dot on the surface of the yolk and use the yolk for nutrients until it hatches. Z is for zoology. Zoology is the study of animals. Zoology includes studying the anatomy and growth of animals, how they interact with other animals and their environments, and even their intelligence and habits. Hey, That was a good book. I learned a lot. There were a lot of words in there that were tricky for me to pronounce. Maybe they were tricky for you too. So listen, if you want to, you should check the pronunciation and make sure that I pronounced it right. Because, I could be wrong. It's a word I've never seen before. There's no big deal in me pronouncing it wrong. I can go and learn the correct pronunciation, and you can too. You can ask Google. Or you can look it up, old school, like me. I'm old school. But yeah, check those pronunciations and keep learning new words and keep learning about biology. Biology is interesting, right? Yeah. So that's it for the ABCs of Biology by Chris Ferrie. And I'll see you next book, okay?